Can everyone see the charts? So I had a webinar, like I said, written out for today, and I decided that I was going to instead just talk about just today's trade, actually. And again, if you have any questions, you can write it in the room. You go down, you find my name, Melissa Armo, and you chat in the box to ask me questions. Can everyone hear me? No one's writing, so I don't even know if anybody has sound or anything. Oh, there we go. Dan can hear me. Perfect. Okay. So what I decided to talk about today, like I said, was I'm going to talk about today's trade, which is just going to be an example to exemplify what I had in the webinar today, which I had a whole webinar plan today, which I could do in a PowerPoint. But I thought it would be better if I just talked and honed it down really on just today's trade. So the topic for today is to have a consistently profitable strategy. You know, every day when you get up, every single day in the market is different. And so I think a lot of people get into a situation where, again, they're trying to figure out, is the market going to rally? Is it going to fall? Some people go long and short the same stock the same day. I do not do that. So every day I look for a different stock, pretty much. I mean, some days I might do the same thing 2 days in a row, but that's rare. So every day I'm looking for something different, a different stock, a different ticker symbol, a different ETF. You know, we do ETFs, but I'm always looking for a stock that's gapping. So I have a criteria that I look at that is the same, okay? But it could be a different ticker, okay? So the criteria I'm looking at is the same every day. The ticker symbol I'm looking at is different every day. My goal every day is to make money, and my goal is to do a fast trade, a quick trade, every single day, in and out, as quick as I can get in and out for my day trades. Now, again, I know some of you like to do options, and I do options, but when I do an option, I'll hold it for longer, and we can talk about options after I'm done going over today's day trade. So the benefit to me of doing day trades is you can get in and out quick, and you don't have to worry about the market gyrations. You don't have to worry about news, headlines, Trump tweets, economic data, the Fed in the afternoon, and you can be done. And again, the benefit of doing options is you can hold for longer. You can hold for longer overnight. So I'm going to go over the trade we did today, okay? And we also did an option in it too, but I'm still in the option and I'm waiting on the option. Again, I hold options longer. And if you have any questions, you can write it in the room. So today we did Tesla. Everybody see it? Actually, this is selling off right now. Pull this up. Closed here, gap down, rallied. We shorted it here. Can everybody see this? This is a 1 minute chart. We got in, got the drop out. And that was it. My day was done. It was done in less than 5 minutes. Now, I also bought puts today in Tesla, okay? So I'm looking for this to continue doing what? A put is a short. I'm looking for it to continue to drop tomorrow, snug as a bug, right into here. We'll see if it can get down in there. Again, I did puts out for the next week. It's a holiday week next week. It's a short week. I'm looking for it to drop. But Tesla gapped down today, okay? Let's blow up the daily. So this closed here, gap down, closed here at 327.55, gap down here to open at 324.61, okay? So again, closed here, gap down, open, dropped, rallied, fell, and I'm looking for what? For follow through. For follow through to the downside, okay? So again, it's very interesting. Like I was saying, every day something happens different. You never know what's going to happen with the market. You don't know what's going to happen with the market, stocks, whatever. But every time you take a trade, you have to get follow through in the direction that you're doing the trade. Again, this is a short, We shorted today, and we did puts. Puts are a short. If we were long, we would want follow through what? To the upside. Okay. Now, I did not go long this, but I will just show you over here that you could have gone long on Monday. I did not do this, but you could have gone long Monday Tesla. This closed here, gapped up, rallied. You could have bought calls, or you could have gone long a day trade. We did something else that way today. We shorted HIMS. It was a different ticker I can pull up. But anyways, I'm just showing you here, this had followed through what? To the upside. I didn't do it, but I'm just pointing out, okay? Actually, let's go look at the HIMS that we did Monday. This is what we did on Monday. Closed here, gap down, fell. See it? So this was a gap. Now what is a gap? When a stock closes at a certain price and opens at another price, closed here at 4 o'clock, gap down here at 9:30. When it closes at one price and opens at a different price, that's a gap. And we rated this Monday, and this rated good to drop and fall. So again, getting back to what I was saying earlier, every day I'm doing something different. But really, it's similar because I'm looking for the same criteria every day. But not every gap rates the same. So I have a 26-point criteria that I'm looking for every day. This is what I teach in my class. Everyone that's here, you're on my marketing list. You see I do a class once a month. I short. That's what I teach in the class. It's what I do. And people come and they learn my method. Not every gap rates the same. Some things don't rate good at all to short. Some things are not, don't meet the criteria. In other words, I'm looking for a 20-point minimum, a cutoff of the 26 points. So for example, if I get a gap and it rates, say, 15 points or whatever, then I'm not doing it. I'm not shorting it. I'm not flipping it, but I'm not shorting it. I'm sorry, I apologize. My phone's ringing. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying here about Tesla, Tesla was a brand new gap today, okay? What will I do tomorrow? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow. Again, every day is something different. So the strategy that I do is consistent, which leads to my consistent profitability, but the ticker symbol I may do may be different every day, and every gap I do rates differently too. No two gaps are the same. So a lot of people, when they're trading, they see a stock that's in an uptrend, they want to buy the dip. Or it could be in a downtrend and they want to buy the dip. People want to buy the dip, or they want to buy support, or they want to buy moving averages. First of all, there's a trillion supports and a trillion resistance levels in any stock and anywhere at any given point in time. So it's like, how do you know which one the stock is going to land on if you're going long to take the long position to rally? How do you know if you're shorting, for example, what resistance is going to hold to short? Maybe a different resistance will hold. Do you follow what I'm saying? For example, again, I'm just going to bring up this Tesla. And if anybody has any questions, let me know. I'm just doing just a free conversation here today for probably 20-30 minutes instead of doing my PowerPoint, just because we had a good trade in here today. I thought this was good to talk about. So you can ask me questions now if you have questions about my program, gaps, anything I'm saying. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they say, I'm going to go long support, or I'm going to short resistance. Have you ever gone like into the ocean, where you're actually walking into the ocean and you're swimming out to the ocean and the current starts to pull you out? Do you know what I mean? Does everybody know what I'm talking about? So again, the current starts to pull you out, and you're trying to get back into the ocean, get back to the waves, get back in, and it's pulling you farther out. Do you know what I mean? Riptide, right, exactly. So again, it's very similar like with a stock. So you could say, well, you go out and you're having fun or whatever, and then it pulls you out to another level that's down farther. Again, you're deeper, another level down deeper. And then you're like, oh, and then it keeps pulling you down, and then all of a sudden you're way back out, and you're going in deeper. You're going in deeper to the ocean. Very similar, where you're like, oh, I don't know where this stops. I don't know where this ends. Okay. Long story short, again, who knows where it ends? You could get pulled all the way out. That's why it can be dangerous. Again, riptides can be very dangerous. Sometimes people get pulled out and they can't swim, they can't get back. So again, similar to a stock, lots of people want to double down, again, buy dips or even short into rallies, but how do you know when it's going to stop? How do you know what the end point is? There's a trillion resistances and a trillion supports. Do you know what I mean? Does everyone understand my point? So again, let's just look at this Tesla here as an example. Stock ran up here, November, December 2024. Okay? Then it came down. Again, fell. We did shorts in here. We had a nice, beautiful short in here, and we did it. Long story short, if you shorted this here, this dropped a little, where technically you could have made money in here if you did a short or a put. There was 2 days here you could have day traded, but it ended up going over this level of resistance. This is back March. Came up in here. If you shorted this here, again, ended up going over this level of resistance. Went over this level of resistance, dropped. Say, okay, now this is a resistance, went over that. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can't just short resistance because there's a bazillion resistances. Just like you can't buy every support because there's a bazillion supports. And again, lots of people want to put indicators on and they don't know exactly where something's going to hold, but they think they have an idea because they think this indicator is going to do it or this indicator is not going to do it, whatever. If there was any 1 or 2 indicators that would tell you exactly where to short or go long a stock, we'd all have them, or any like combination. So that's why I ended up inventing a 26-point system. 26 points is a lot of things to look at. And, you know, again, it's a ton of things to look at. And if I could come up with 126 things, I would. You know what I mean? Like, maybe then I'd never get it wrong. You know, that's the other thing, too. You could have everything figured out, everything perfect, everything beautiful, and then the trade doesn't work. And you say, why? Because, again, sometimes there's always that chance. It's chance that sometimes something will not work, even if it looks perfect, even if it looks good. Like, again, I told you I'm in puts in Tesla. Is there a chance that this trade could fail and lose? Yes. I mean, who knows? Trump could say no more tariffs tomorrow. Tariffs are off, and then Tesla could be at 400 tomorrow morning in the gap. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm just like making up an example. Do you follow what I mean? So, to be consistently profitable, which was the topic for today, and again, I had a lecture written out. I just decided to free talk here today and said, you have to look for the same things, but you're looking for them in different stocks, because you're not going to find the same things in the same stocks every day. And people get trapped into trading the market every day and looking for this for the market, if it's an uptrend to do, or any particular stock. It could be Apple, could be Amazon, could be whatever. You're not going to get good setups, and you're not going to get good trades in everything every day. Does that make sense? Dan is here. I don't know if anyone else is listening to anything I'm saying because no one else is typing. So either no one has questions, no one's listening to me, I don't know, or no one knows how to type. Everyone should be able to chat in the room. So again, instead of going through and a whole lecture, which I did have planned today, I decided to just do a free talk here about the trade we did today and my general philosophy about why it's so important to stay on top of looking for the same criteria but on different things, because you're not going to get the same criteria and the same thing all the time, and you have to have the right criteria to make the predictions where something's going to go. And again, for me personally, I prefer to short. It's just I prefer to short rather than go long. And the reason I do that is because stocks just fall faster than they rally. If the market decides to fall tomorrow or whatever, it's going to fall like a bomb. In fact, I'll pull that up really quickly. We rallied today, but again, if something in the reverse would happen, Trump's going to put tariffs on, or something happens with Iran, this would fall off an absolute cliff. So again, things take time to rally. Market's even taking time to rally. So far, it's following through, but things don't take any time at all to fall or sell off. Okay? There was something else I was going to say now, I forget. Anyways, the point I was trying to make, does everyone understand the point I was trying to make about a million different supports and resistance levels? Again, this is what trips people up, and then they get upset. They say, well, this should have held, or this support should have held, or this resistance should have held. Why didn't this work, or whatever? And again, a lot of it is timing too. A lot of it is timing too, where you got to get the timing right. You know, if you're, for me, again, to do the day trades, I like the quick, fast timing. I like to be in that fast. For options, I'm doing weekly options, so that's kind of fast too when you think about it. But again, you're at the mercy of the market if you're doing swing trades where you take a trade out and you want to trade something out for a couple of months or a couple of weeks and you want to take it out. A lot of things can change and a lot of things can happen, and too many variables come in when you're doing something like that, and it happens. I was going to say something else and I forget what. Shoot. The other one we were looking at was Nike. Nike has earnings. This is reporting right now. It doesn't look like this is doing anything yet. But this is reporting tonight. So again, right now, this is just 50 cents down, it looks like, from where it closed. So this is a live gap if you never saw a live gap. The stock closed today at 62.54, rallied along with the market, has earnings out tonight. They probably didn't start talking yet because this isn't moving that much yet. But right now the stock is trading at 62.21, 62.30-ish. So it's down about 25 cents from the close. So I don't think they probably didn't start talking yet. So there's an earnings report out tonight on Nike. So this is probably going to move somewhere when they start talking. Again, could end up moving higher or could continue to drop. This right now is down. It's down a little bit. So again, what do? I'll go to bed tonight and then I'll get up tomorrow and I will rate this gap, whether it's bullish or bearish, and I'll decide if I want to go long Nike or if I want to short it. I don't know what I want to do. Right now it's really not doing anything. It's just kind of sitting here, down a little bit, up a little bit, wiggling, jiggling. It didn't really report yet. But this is something that you could watch at night. Again, sometimes stocks do report at night earnings, sometimes they report in the morning earnings. So sometimes stocks gap because of earnings. Sometimes they gap because of something else. Boeing was one where, again, this has had plane crashes, accidents, all kinds of mechanical failures, where this has gaps sometimes for news-related issues, okay? So again, this is Boeing. We had a gap back in here, the beginning of June, closed here, gap down, and fell. Okay? And we shorted this, and we got this move down in here on 6/13. So again, gaps happen for lots of reasons. Lots and lots of reasons. Sometimes something gaps with the market. So Boeing gapped up here, 626. Market gapped up here, 626. So Boeing today didn't have any news. Nothing going on today. Just whatever went with the market. So on any given particular day, most stocks actually will gap with the market. So again, I'm just making this up. I don't know what the market does tomorrow morning. If the market gaps up tomorrow, most stocks will be gapping up. Strong stocks, weak stocks, mostly everything. Again, Nike has earnings. I don't know what that's going to do. If the market gaps down tomorrow, most stocks will gap down with the market. It doesn't mean that they're all shortable. Just like it doesn't mean that if the market gaps down, that it's going to sell off either. Because there's times when something gaps down and they rally. There's times when something gaps up and fails. In fact, back in here with the market on 620, closed here, gapped up 620. This gapped up here and failed. If you went long here, it failed. The market sold off, and it was a gap up. So again, it's just, there's so many different particulars and things that you have to look at, and that's why, again, I developed a whole rating system. That rating system, which again is what I teach in the class once a month, that's what helps me stay consistently profitable. It helps me stay on track. It helps me stay with what I'm doing, which is take the trade, believe in the trade that it's going to work and fall, or if it doesn't rate good, then I don't do it. And again, it doesn't mean that every trade I take works. Some fail. We shorted FDX yesterday and I got stopped. Now, I will tell you I was up in this trade yesterday. I didn't get out. I'll go over this. I think everybody in the room got out besides me. I did not get out. I wanted it to go further. I don't think I was being a pig, but I did lose in this before I did the BA yesterday. I'll go and show you this one. Closed here, gapped down. I shorted this, got the drop, I was up, and I didn't get out. And it looked really good, and I was up, I was up, I was up. I even thought this looked really good, I was up. I didn't get out, so I ended up getting stopped in this. But I was up in this. But I wanted this to keep falling down to 215. I was looking for it to get down in here, so I took this stop. But I think everybody actually in the room got out. This was a decent move. I just didn't get out of it. But anyways, there are times where, again, you'll rate something. I don't consider this that because this really did have a trade in here. I just messed up my exit. But there are times when you'll look at something, take something, do it, and it will stop. It will almost immediately stop. This wasn't one of those, but I'm just showing you an example in a trade that I lost in. There's something else I was going to say too. Any other questions? Some of you are familiar faces that I've seen following me for a while. Again, instead of doing a normal lecture today, I thought I would just do a free lecture talking with charts and answering questions. You know, again, it's one of these markets where you really have to stay on point with what you're doing all the time. You have to stay focused on what you're doing, and if you don't, then, you know, you're going to be all over the place. You're not going to be focused. And again, in today's environment, oh, see here, this is moving now. This is moving right now. Here this is. This is a live gap. See, we just looked at it. It was at 62.30, remember? Now it's at 61 something. Look at it. So again, this must be reporting earnings right now. But anyways, what I was saying was, in this type of environment, you got to stay focused. But in any type of environment, you have to stay focused, because if you don't stay focused, you're going to lose sight of what you need and want. What you want is the profits, and you can't. And again, lots of people say, "Well, if it doesn't work, I'll kill it." You're never going to get any big trades then. It's very difficult to trade with size if you don't believe that the trade's going to work. Earnings season starts the week after July 4th. So This is a late earnings. This is from the last earnings season. This isn't a first earnings. This is earnings season is ending now for this quarter. Then next week is the holiday, July 4th. And then after the July 4th holiday, banks start out usually reporting earnings. So earnings begin the week, I think earnings start like, I want to say July 9th or 10th or something like that. Somewhere around that date is the week after July 4th. So that is a busy season when there's lots and lots of stocks that have earnings and they report. Okay. So yeah, so this is like, again, I'm not going to rate this here for two reasons. One, it could flip. It's down right now, but by tomorrow morning this could completely change. It could be up. And number two, while this is falling right now, it could be at a different number. It could be at a different price by tomorrow morning. So I don't usually rate gaps at night. I can look and see what something's doing, whatever, but I usually wait until the morning to go through the process. Again, what sets me apart, and people, I just don't think people realize this, they just know that I trade and I teach a trading class. What sets me apart really is that I go through a procedure, a whole process on every stock I make a pick in and decide every trade I take. I go through a whole 26-point process before I even decide if I want to trade it. And I do all of that before 9:30 in the morning, before the open. So I go through a whole process of doing that. That is what I teach, but it's what I do myself. So I'm not taking any trade without going through all of those points, going through the process, making sure it rates 20 points or more. If it doesn't, I'm not going to do it. I just don't trade something because I think it looks good or it looks like it's higher, it looks like it's lower. It's not just thinking and wishing and hoping and praying and something that somebody says online. I'm going through an actual step-by-step process to decide if I want to do something. And then I'm totaling up the points. And then I'm making a determination based on that total. You follow me? So it's very procedural and it's very organized, what I do. Okay. Any questions here about anything you want to ask me? If you've been following me, again, I see a lot of familiar names. Anything anybody wants to ask me? Just thought it'd be something different to just talk off the cuff today about current trades and some stocks. And here's a live gap. Again, I knew this was tonight. I did not know what this was going to do. Again, this closed up here at 62.50. Right now it's like here. That's where this is right now. So who knows where it'll be in the morning. Any questions by anyone? Anyone ask me anything? I'm sure there's somebody that wants to ask me something. Again, I recognize a lot of your names. Some of you have talked about the class before, not joined. I don't know what you're doing, if you're not trading yet, if you're not ready to trade, if you are trading, if you're doing something that's working or not working. Fred, I can see your chat. You can't talk chat, you can only write chat. So you can only, I'm saying chat because that's the chat box, but you can only type. I'm the only one that has voice, if that's what you mean. Because I'm running the show here. Just like I run the room. So you would have to type out a chat message. Sorry, maybe I confused it when I said chat. Nobody can speak but me. The chat is turned off to speak, but you can write a message if you have a question. I don't know, there's very interesting times that we are trading in. Again, we started out, it was only a week ago. It wasn't even a week, actually. Remember, Saturday was the bombing. Does anyone remember that? It's like it didn't even happen. The market shrugged it off. Monday was down Sunday night at the future, shrugged it off Monday morning, and then rallied every day this week so far. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. We can look at oil. Again, I personally thought oil was going to be higher this week. And actually we opened up Monday and collapsed almost immediately. Let's look at the chart. again, if you believe the ceasefire's over, market could keep rallying and this could be lower. Or you don't believe the ceasefire is over and something else could happen. We don't know. But there's so many things that are affecting the market right now. It's not just, again, the war in Iran stuff just happened recently. I mean, there's things that are happening with interest rates. The supposed, time or deadline for the tariffs is coming up. That's after July 4th. I think it's July 8th or 9th. What's going to happen then? The deadline for all of the tariffs. Who knows? So it's interesting times we're living in. So yeah, Fred, you can chat me a question in the type box. Anybody else want to ask me any questions? Again, something different here. Instead of doing a PowerPoint, I just thought I'd have free questions and just talk a little bit about what I did this week. And I mean, we had a good week. So I did hymns Monday. Tuesday, what did we do Tuesday? Tuesday, I don't think I did anything. No, I didn't do anything Tuesday, I don't think. Wednesday was yesterday. Did the FDX got stopped, did BA, made money. Today did the Tesla. I forget Tuesday. I don't think I did anything Tuesday. Well, I don't think I did anything Tuesday. If I did, I forget. I don't think I did anything. So we won every day so far this week, yeah. I don't know what we're going to get tomorrow. But again, I don't plan what I'm going to do ahead of time. But, theoretically, if I see something that I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this tomorrow morning. Again, I would not short this here right now. If it was 9:30 tomorrow, I wouldn't short this here. But this could look different tomorrow, could look better, could look worse, I'd probably try to find something else, actually, tomorrow. I don't think I would do this if this was opening here. So, but again, I could change my mind tomorrow because this could be somewhere different. So I really try to take a 24-hour break of charts and stop at some point and then just give myself a break, get up in the morning and look at things early, Very interesting times to trade. There have been times that things have been tricky for me. Overall, though, for me this year personally with trading, I think I've had a better start to this year than last year, because we had so much volatility at the beginning of the year that it was just a huge time to short. And I think a lot of people didn't know how to short, didn't expect what happened, and then March into April, again, before the tariff pause, I think a lot of people were going long and got hurt. So, it's sort of like, you have to know how to short. I just can't stress that enough. And I know the market's at new highs and everybody loves going long, but I can't stress enough how shorting is something that you got to have in your wheelhouse. You have to know how to do it. Again, you can make a lot of money shorting. One big short can make your whole week, can make your whole month, particularly when we're doing these options and we're holding these trades and we're holding them overnight and we're getting these moves. So again, I'm in Tesla, like I said. Who knows what happens with this tomorrow, but as of right now, this is down. This is selling off now tonight from where this closed. So I'm up more now in this trade than I was an hour ago. So again, this is the benefit of doing options, in my opinion, holding overnight. Tomorrow morning, this could be at 320. And again, I don't trade the after hours. I do options, which you only trade between 9:30 and 4. And I do day trades only between 9:30 and 4. Outside of that, you'd be doing swing trades on cash or 2-to-1 margin after hours, and I don't do this. Any questions here? Anybody want to ask me anything? Pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. I don't know if you learned anything. I don't know if you want to ask me something. I don't know if anyone is interested in the class in July. The class dates, I'll write the class dates in here. Class dates for July are the 12th and the 13th. I always teach the class. Always teach the class on a weekend, Saturday and Sunday, because I'm not trading. And I'm doing a special that includes the trading room and the options newsletter and the options class for free if you sign up for the class for July by tomorrow. Some people have already done that. They've already been in the room. But, I definitely think that July could be a very interesting month. It's the tariff pause coming up. It's the stuff that's happening overseas. It's earnings season starting the second week of July. And then, of course, the Fed has a meeting in July, too. And some people are expecting them actually to drop rates, which I don't think they're going to do. So the market's going to react to all those things. And then, again, like I said, earnings season is a very, very, very good time to trade. Beginner level 1 contract, then scaling to 3, 4, 5, etc. contracts. Is it just your comfort level once we do the class? No, it has to do with how much money you have. So, you could sign up for the options newsletter or sign up for the class now and start trading before the class. Obviously, the class is until July 12th, 13th. And your subscriptions would start immediately. If you want to start trading tomorrow, if you have, $100 grand or whatever, you can trade with whatever you feel comfortable with. I think you will feel more comfortable once you learn the system. So I always tell people to start out slow, even if they have a lot of money. You know what I mean? But, so you have to look at how your comfort level is with risk. I don't think I'm hard to follow, personally, in the room. I did not put today's room up on YouTube yet. I will post it today. But I don't think that I'm hard to follow. So, again, it's sort of like, I think that if you can follow me, if you understand me, I think you could even take an advanced trader risk if you want before the class, if you've got the cash. Once you understand what to do, though, you're going to feel a lot better about trading. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to feel just more comfortable. Like you're not going to worry if something backs up before it goes. Do you know what I mean? Because you're going to understand it. But, if you have a small account, even an account with $2,000 or $2,500 with a minimum in options, you got to keep your risk $100, $200, no more than probably $300 a trade. You're trying to build it up. If you have a small account, you're trying to build a small account into a big account. That's the goal. And again, if you have a big account, you're trying to build that account up too. But if you have a larger account, you can take more risk where you can pull money out of your account, whether you do that once a week or twice a month or whatever you decide that you want to pay yourself. At the beginning, when you're starting small, you want to try to build it up so that you can take more risk. And then you can get somewhere faster with it. Do you know what I mean? Any other questions here? That was a good question. I am going to put my email in here. If anyone thinks of any questions that you want to email me later, if you want to sign up for the July class or the special going on through tomorrow, it's, again, what I do is so unique, and it's hard to explain that to people because, again, I know people know that I'm selling the class. I am selling the class, but the fact is that it still remains to be true that what I'm saying is a fact. I have a specific criteria that I'm looking for, and you learn that in the class. When you apply that every day, it doesn't matter if it's an ETF, a stock, the market, whatever you're doing, you apply the criteria. If the total is 20 points or more, then you take it in the direction of the gap. And you follow it, go through the process, do it, and again, I teach the entries and the exits in the class too. But if you're following me in the room, you should be able to replicate it, And I think at the beginning that's important for people, and that's why I have the room free to the end of the year for people with the class. It's like if you need that support, I'm offering that at the beginning. I'm offering that at the beginning for people to help them. But you're going to learn how to do it yourself, which I think is important, Definitely. Well, good luck. Good luck if you're trading tomorrow on your own. Be careful. Be careful. I don't know what's going to happen with Nike. That's a question mark for me right now. I'm not crazy about it, but we'll see. I don't know what the market does tomorrow. We have some data out tomorrow morning. Remember, it's Friday going into a holiday week. I'm in the Tesla puts. Crossing my fingers, they look good tonight. Dan, do you have another question? Dan, I hope you can join soon. I hope you can join soon. I thought you were going to sign up for the options newsletter over the weekend. I hope you can start trading. I know you've been following me for a couple of years. A couple of years you've been wanting to join. I know people sometimes want to wait till they have the perfect amount of money and the perfect time in their life and the perfect situation and time off from their job and their family and money to trade and all this stuff. I know everybody wants all these things perfect. If we wait for the perfect time to happen in everything in life, sometimes it doesn't ever come. That's the problem. All right, have a great night, everyone.